Hey, how's it going, guys? Angel of the Night here. We are back again with the Grand Challenge 2025 Part 2, and this is battle number 4. Our opponent here today is going to lead off with an Incineroar and a Garchomp, and of course we're going to come in here with our Exeggutor, our star of our team, and of course we have brought along Indeedee with our lead. That's going to be able to set up the Psychic Surge, of course, setting up the Psychic Terrain, and of course that means that any priority-based moves are going to be null and void. The Incineroar, of course, is going to have the Intimidate come into play, and of course that is going to drop the attack stat of our team. From there, we're going to go for the Exeggutor with the Protect. Obviously, we're going to have to swap out the Indeedee here, and we've decided to go into our other team member you guys have yet to see, and that is going to be Kommo-o. Now, of course, Kommo-o is a dragon fighting type Pokemon, so that should be pretty good against the Incineroar. With the Exeggutor, of course, we have decided to go for the Protect, which means that we are going to take no damage this turn. And of course, the Garchomp is going to go for the Rock Slide, and Rock Slide is a move that's going to be able to hit 2 Pokemon at once. However, because we protected, of course, like I said, we're not going to receive any damage this turn. Incineroar, of course, is locking into the Exeggutor slot, and that Flare Blitz is not going to make contact due to the Protect, and thankfully I protected, honestly. We are going to go with the Leaf Storm here into the Garchomp, and of course that is something that I'm hoping is going to be able to do some decent damage because it is a ground-type Pokemon, though I do have to remember that Garchomp is also a Dragon-type, which means that it is possible to resist that Leaf Storm. We have decided to lock in to the Clanging Scales, and of course we are going to go for the Tera Dragon. So we're going to get a little bit of a Tera boost here with that move, and we're also going to be able to hopefully pick up some damage onto 2 Pokemon at once here. Here comes the Dragon Claw in from the Garchomp, and unfortunately that is super effective. I was actually really hoping that they would probably go into the Exeggutor. I was hoping that I'd be able to survive a hit, but unfortunately for us, we actually lose our Kommo-o. And here we go with the Leaf Storm, and of course the Garchomp has somehow managed to avoid it. How rude is that, guys? But Flare Blitz being able to pick up the KO onto the Exeggutor, and that is our second Pokemon down this battle. There is a little bit of recoil damage there onto the Incineroar, basically due to the Flare Blitz. If it had Life Orb, of course, it would, lose HP as well. Same kind of scenario, but recoil damage is definitely a big thing, and it can definitely cost you a match if it's not looked after properly. The next Pokemon coming in is going to be back in with Indeedee and our Sneasler. Now, of course, Sneasler is a bit of a fast Pokemon here, so I'm really hoping to be able to get some damage off. We are going to go for the Follow Me with a redirect with Indeedee, and of course, we are debating on what we want to do with our Sneasler. Pretty much between Dire Claw, Close Combat, and Rock Slide. If we do manage to go and get the Rock Slide off, that's going to be able to pick up some damage onto the 2 opposing Pokemon, so I'm really hoping that I might be able to get some sort of a flinch. It's really not a long game strategy, but if I can get some damage off here, that's really important. Incineroar definitely needs to get knocked out. Garchomp, of course, not getting flinched, going in for the Stomping Tantrum. It is going to get hurt by the Rocky Helmet and some of its Life Orb recoil. Luckily for us, we picked up the flinch on the Incineroar. That's kind of a big deal here. We're going to go in for the Close Combat here now. I'm hoping to pick up the KO onto the Garchomp. Garchomp is definitely one of the biggest threatening Pokemon onto this team right now that you guys are able to see, of course. I'll keep the others as a surprise, but here we go with the Close Combat, picking up the KO with the Garchomp, and that is going to go down. Now, one thing we have to also take into consideration here as well is that Sneasler has also dropped its defensive stats, which means that it's now vulnerable to any kind of physical type moves. Knockoff coming in to the Indeedee, that's going to be able to knock off the Rocky Helmet, but it is going to pick up the KO and a little bit of recoil damage onto the Incineroar. Okay, we basically have 1 Pokemon remaining against the opposing 3. Guys, it's really not looking good for us here right at this exact moment in time, but then Charizard comes in, and then you have to think to yourself, am I going to be fast enough to get this Rock Slide off? Because obviously Rocks is going to do some serious work to Charizard, right? And then if we get the flinch, that would be huge, but unfortunately for us, it manages to get the Air Slash, somehow outspeeding our Sneasler, and that's going to be game. So, good game to my opponent. If you guys enjoyed the battle there today, you know what to do. Go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, post your comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time.